Good morning. This is Pastor Marvin Osborne with First Baptist Church of Birmingham, Ohio, and I hope you're well today. We're looking at 1 John 5:21. 1 John 5:21. Just a simple verse, but so powerful. It says, "Dear children, keep yourselves from idols. Keep yourselves from idols." The United States is a idol-filled country. We worship so many things. We may not act like we worship them, but we do. I remember many years ago, well, I was probably in second or third grade, and we would have we lived in a trailer park growing up, and a church bus would come and pick up the kids and in the neighborhood and take us to church, and it's a Baptist church. And I remember being in the junior church of that church, and for the young people, and the teacher there was a woman. She talked about idols, and she talked about how we can get caught up in idolatry. And I remember as just a young kid, I wondered about that statement, about that idea of idols. I thought about, I don't people bowing down to some statue or something like that. And she said, no, it was, people bow down to the television set. They bow down to sports. And, I remember that way back then. She made an impact on me back then, and it still resonates today. What she said then was true, and it certainly applies to today, maybe even more so. People get so caught up into so many frivolous things. We get caught up in the sports and make a god out of sports, and people know the stats of this quarterback, and they know what the trade was and who should be drafted. I see online, and somehow I'm on this basketball. I get these updates on basketball and who is the greatest of all time, the GOAT of basketball. Is it Michael Jordan? Is it whoever else, LeBron James or whatever? I don't care. But so many people do care. They care about their rock stars, and they idolize those rock stars, and they idolize people who idolize politics, and you kind of go through all these things, and we were made with a God-sized heart, every one of us, a God-sized hole in our life, and what we choose to fill it in is what we tend to idolize, and we have that desire within us to elevate something or someone over ourselves and to set them on a pedestal. The Bible is very clear that you and I need to keep ourselves from idols. He says, dear children, he's talking to believers. He's talking to you and I, that you and I can get caught up with the things of this world. We can get caught up in things that really don't matter, and make them into something that they really shouldn't be. We have that tendency, I think, as Americans, and we certainly have that tendency within Christendom. You and I need to be careful. We need to analyze our life. Is there things that we're elevating over God? So many people elevate pleasure, they elevate status, they elevate money, they elevate, of course, sports, they elevate education, even elevate their kids, and they make the kids the priority in their home. And yes, they're important, but they're not more important than God. They're not important than training your children up in the nurture and the admonition of God. We put sports, and we take them out of church and put them in sports. We take them out of church and take them to family days and the amusement parks, and what we're teaching our kids is that those things, church is all right to a point, but there are other things more important than church. No, they're not. No, it's not. You and I need to be careful of that. He says, be careful not to elevate things beyond what their place is in society. Sports is not wrong, but when it's put in its proper context. But sports outside of its proper conduct becomes an idol. The same with all things, money, food, or whatever else. Something to think about. Do you have an idol in your life? He says, keep yourselves from those things. Stop idolizing those things. This is Pastor Marvin Osborne saying God loves you, and I love you as well, and I'll talk to you soon.